I thought there was any chance I could have lived through it. Never would I have done it.
Kristen Anderson grew up near Chicago, enjoying her childhood and family.
Kristen was a very bubbly child. She was very shy.
I didn't have a lot of trials or tragedies or problems in my life growing up. I was never abused as a kid. I had anything that I really needed and a lot of what I wanted.
Her teen years, however, would not continue that way.
When I was about 15, a lot of bad things started happening in my life. I lost 4 friends and my grandmother within a year and a half. And at the end of it, actually, I was raped and my life completely fell apart and I was just spinning almost. I was so lost. Outside, it appeared like I was alive and well, but on the inside, I had given up. I just didn't care anymore.
We just started noticing some difficulty. We weren't sure what was going on, and we just tried to help her as best we could. We didn't know all that was going on in her life.
After I was raped, I really just felt like I didn't have anything left to give this world, and that I didn't have anything left inside of me almost. I felt shameful and dirty and empty and lost, and I wanted to die. I just wanted it to be over. I didn't have anything in me to deal with it then.
She had written a note saying that she was going to go for a walk. She needed some time to think.
The train tracks are really close to my parents' house, and I heard the whistle and it snapped in my mind. I laid down in front of the train right before it got there because I didn't want it to have time to stop. I laid on my stomach with my fists clenched, my eyes closed, and my head facing the opposite direction that the train was coming. 30 freight train cars went over me at 55 miles per hour. I should have died. When the train stopped is when I opened my eyes, I unclenched my fists, and I started to look around. Both of my legs were severed, my left well above the knee and my right just below the knee. That's when the pain really, really hit me because I saw the blood. I knew my legs were gone. It was real, and I was alive.
Kristen miraculously survived, but did lose both of her legs and would endure numerous surgeries.
When I was in the hospital and I realized that I should have died, I really started to think about whether or not I would have went to heaven or hell and started to question that big. And a lot of the people around me told me that I would have went to heaven, but I couldn't let go of the thought that there was a chance I could have went to hell. The question just kept coming up to my mind.
Kristen pointed her question to a visiting seminary student.
He told me so gently that if I had never asked Jesus into my heart and given him my life, that I would have went to hell if I died. And I had never heard that before. I didn't know. I thought that Jesus died for my sins and for the sins of the world, and we all, would just go to heaven because he died for us. I didn't know that I needed to accept his forgiveness and give my life to him. I totally had never heard that in my life. I didn't know that there was a choice I had to make. But I didn't want to take his word for it, so I asked him to show me it in the Bible. I wanted to see what God had really said about it, and he showed me tons of scripture that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. There's no way to the Father except through him. And in my little simple prayer that I prayed right over there, sitting on the floor here in my parents' dining room, I just asked him to forgive me for trying to take my life, for everything else I had done. I knew that I had screwed up my life, but that he could put it back together. I started a relationship with him, and that's the night that I became a Christian. My life didn't become perfect overnight or anything like that. I still struggled for about 3 years, but the closer I grew in my relationship with God, the more obedient I became to him, the more I forgot about what I wanted and thought about what he wanted for me, the more my life began to work, and I found the peace and the joy and the life that he really wanted me to have. Now it's...
Kristen now publicly shares her life and hope through Jesus Christ.
Knowing him and living with him and loving him and being loved by him is everything that your life should center around.
She's in this wheelchair. She doesn't have legs right now. And she's so happy. She has this wonderful attitude.
Every day is another step forward, but he has brought me to a place now that I could have never imagined I would ever be at. And love my life. I really, really do. I love the life that he's given me. It doesn't compare to the life I had on my own without him.